Good evening, folks. We are live here in Pewaukee for Holiday Hoops. Augustine Prep is in town from the south side for a non-conference showdown with our Pewaukee Pirates. The Pirates coming in off of a strong victory Saturday night against Milwaukee Marquette High School. And Augustine Prep, the Lions, had a hard-fought loss to Hartford. I'm Kurt Spitzner, joined by Casey Lauer tonight on a December 23rd matchup before the holidays. Pirates coming in 2-4, so a start uncharacteristic of the Pirate teams we have, but got some real momentum going Saturday, Casey, out at Carroll College against Marquette. What do you look to see from the Pirates here tonight to keep that momentum going, get another win headed into the holidays?
Yeah, it's going to have to be some consistency from what you saw on Saturday night. They played really well defensively. Rotations were there. Their interior defense was fantastic against Marquette. And a player like George Davis did a great job meeting kids at the rim, going straight up, preventing easy baskets. And I think that's what we're going to have to see today, as the St. Augustine Prep team is going to play a very up-tempo game. They're going to have to get back on defense and slow this team down and handle that press a little bit.
Yeah, we just saw a JV game, very kind of helter-skelter. I think we've been told we'll see something very similar here, at the varsity level. This team, we took a look at it. The Augustine Prep Lions have a couple of impressive victories, have been up and down this season, but they did beat Milwaukee Academy of Sciences earlier in the year, and that was is a team that, although they graduated some players, is still expected to make some noise out there. A couple of guys to look for here tonight for the Lions. Junior Jacoby Mathis coming in 21.1 per game on 40% shooting. He's a volume guy. Freshman Martavian Williams, second leading scorer at 15 a game. He's coming in as just a freshman and making a pretty big impact in the early going here. So I think we're going to have our work cut out for us to answer the intensity from what we've seen from a team like this. It's going to be a fun night of basketball, kind of a festive atmosphere here. We've got alumni in town making their way over, and I think we'll hear from some of them, throughout the night. It should be a fun and festive evening. But talking about these Pirates, Casey, you and I went back and forth before the game this morning, and they are shooting at an incredible clip. 46.7% from three-point range for this Pirate team. And absolutely sweltering 54.8 from Tyler Tkachenko. Not to be outdone by his senior classmate, 51.7% for George Davis. And right down the line, that three-point shooting has been spot on for these Pirates. You know that they can fill it up, but the question has been, can they guard on the other side of the floor? And if they can, this team is proving they can score, Casey.
Yeah, and you're right. The efficiency on offense has been very, very good the entire season. They're averaging 76.8 points per game. As you mentioned, their shooting percentage is very, very high for a high school level team. But that is a credit to a David Bergkemper coach team. They take good shots. They don't force anything. They attack the lanes and play off 2 feet and kick to the open shooter. So it's not a surprise to see that offense continue. But you're right. On the defensive end, when you flip that coin, there have been a lot of teams that have shot the ball extremely well against them. So they're going to have to put that pressure up at the three-point line, force people to drive a little bit and not get settled with open jumpers, and then defend what they defend well is around the basket. They've got size. I think today they're going to have quite a bit of a size advantage. So expect them to run guys off the three-point line to the interior and let the big bodies like Tkachenko, Rykowski, George Davis, John Gertis, let those guys play around the post and make those shots difficult.
Yeah, another kid you just mentioned that's been so impressive this year, John Gertis. John shooting 59% from the field, right up there with Tyler, leading the team with rebounds, 6.2 to Tyler's 6.3. And just a kid who is making every hustle play on the floor and getting out there and in making a difference. And I think tonight that's going to be one of these things. You play a non-conference opponent. These teams know who Tyler is. They know who George Davis is at this point, guys who have been around. But I'm looking for a kid like John Gertis to have a big night tonight, because you forget about him, and lo and behold, he's going to have 10 or 15 points and probably 8 or 9 rebounds and just game-changing stuff on the offensive glass.
And that's really John's game. He is a hustle player. If there's a shot going up around the rim, you better believe that John Gertis is going to be there going to get that rebound. Defensively, he will fight and battle for every defensive rebound. He does not want to lose a one-on-one battle when there's a loose ball or a 50-50 ball out there. So, as you mentioned, John is going to find points, even if it's 6 or 8 points just off the sheer hustle. And then he'll mix in a few points throughout the game, and you'll probably see him around 12 or 14 again. Pretty consistent so far this year.
Yeah, it's been a breath of fresh air to see John out there. Another new face in a really, really important position has been Jonas Schaefer at the point guard controls. And Jonas Schaefer is a kid coming in tonight averaging 6.3 assists per game, which is just incredible. At a high school level, 6.3 assists he is really dishing it out. The key for Jonah is and continues to be, can he take care of the basketball? The turnovers at times have peaked up and been a problem. But if he takes care of the basketball, he is just a very, very elite distributor of the ball. Jonah's a kid that I think as his season comes along, he's going to be somebody that I think the team can count on to be that guy at the command and control here as we move into it. So we are about 4 minutes away from it's Parents Night, Casey.
Yes.
So we're going to honor all of the parents involved in Pewaukee basketball, everybody that supports these kids through their youth and prep careers. So we're a little ways away. If you're tuning in at 7 o'clock already, JV game went a little bit long. There were some different calls in that one and some stoppages of play. So we're probably still about 10 minutes all up from game time, but it's going to be a fun night. We got a cast of alumni over here that are promising to join us, and we got 3 seats, and Mr. Nick Janowski himself promised me last night that we'd have some visitors. So we're going to be joined by a cast of alumni characters, which has become a tradition here at Pewaukee, and it's really one of the cool things as the guys start filtering in that Coach Burkemper wanted to see in the program is kids came back, and obviously some pretty storied stuff going on these last few years. So a lot of guys enjoying getting to see each other. We're going to hear from some of them throughout the game and at halftime to talk things over, which is quite fun. One of those guys that we're going to talk about, and Casey, I got to give you credit for this, is Mr. Milan Momcilovic, who is absolutely killing it up there at Iowa State. And one of the things, as we've talked about it, is that his shooting is very, very similar at a big clip to our guy Tyler Tichenko. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we're going to actually take a look at Parents Night out here, and we'll flip over to Craig Copleen and honor our parents. So Casey and I will be right back with you. We'll let the Parents Night feed take you home. Great group of parents here in Pewaukee. Once again, that is supporting these kids, and we'll let Craig talk through that. We'll be back with some special guests. right, and that is the parents of the 2025-2026 Pewaukee Pirates here. Again, a great basketball community. Casey, we talk about the youth program, but the youth program is nothing unless you have parents who make it happen. A lot of them actively involved in coaching, getting their kids out to stuff. So always fun to celebrate the parents here at Pewaukee. So now we will put 3 minutes back on the clock and make sure the guys are staying warm. Then we'll do the national anthem and then the opener here to get things tipped off. But as I was saying right before we cut away to that, this comparison, you brought this up, Casey, this is pretty cool. The big shots, 6'8" shooters. Our guy Milan up at Iowa State shooting 56.6%. Our guy here at Pewaukee, Tyler, at 56.2. This is like a mirror image. From three, it's absolutely insane from these guys. Milan at 55.2. Tyler, not to be outdone, 54.8, right there with them. And at the free throw line, 90 and 91.7 respectively. Milan at 18 a game, 18.3, and Tyler with 20.3. You're a basketball guy, Casey. You talk about 50, 40, 90 guys. There are a couple of 50, 50, 90 guys. And we'll talk to Milan in a little bit, too, about what he sees in Tyler. But Tyler is off to an absolutely sizzling start here for the Pirates.
Yeah, and as you bring up those stats there, that 50, 40, 90 club, I know we're 6 games into the season, but to just kind of give an example, there's 11 players in the NBA over the last 23 years that have scored at least 10 points a game that have committed or finished at a 50, 40, 90 clip. Again, this is a very small sample size at this particular point, but the efficiency of how these different players can score is what separates good from great.
Yeah, it is. The other thing that is true about Tyler, and we've seen these games, he is not a mystery anymore, and what teams throw at him is different every night. He'll see double teams. He'll see a smaller player. He'll see a more physical player. They'll put length against him, and he's having to adjust his game. But I look for Tyler to have a big one tonight. I mean, the more this team can figure out how to get Tyler his looks, I think the stronger they'll be. And with that, we're about just under a minute from the opening national anthem and the starting lineups, and then we'll have basketball at long last. It's been an eventful evening. We've got the cheer squad out in their holiday attire. A pretty decent crowd on getaway day for these students out in the Pewaukee School District who are embarking on their break. So I think we're ready for basketball and then a little bit of Santa Claus for everybody, Casey.
That's right. A good day to kind of roll us into that holiday break.
With that, we're going to give it to Craig Copleen and in our overhead PA for our national anthem. And we will be back with basketball.
Now, to honor America, please rise for the plate.
Martavion Williams, freshman, coming in at 15 a game. And here are Pirates starting five. Similar group Coach Burkemper has used this season. And the group's starting to get some continuity. George Davis, again, coming in 14.3, shooting it really well, 51.7 on the year. Senior classmate Landon Stels, shooting it well as well. Landon's at 53.8%, 6 points a game. There's John Gertis, who he's talked about, 12.8 points a game, 6 rebounds. And the commander, Jonah Schaefer, coming in at 10.5, 6 assists a game and 5 rebounds, really stuffing the stat sheet. And then that man we talked about, Tyler Tkachenko, the senior leader of this group, that has been really the pace setter offensively, really for the last maybe couple seasons has been in that mix, but this year really having to take over that primary scoring role, Casey.
Yeah, and that's a key piece of it, of taking over that scoring role. They got to put the ball in the bucket. I think today the key piece, and you mentioned at the early tip, handling the basketball. Jonah Schaefer, if he can control this offense, there should be success today. And
there's Tyler. His three is up, and that is off rim. Rebound is off, and here come the Lions. This is Williams on the drive. Out to the corner, Jacoby Mathis, leading scorer for them. Here is Williams down low. That one comes off. John Gertis with the rebound. Out ahead, he's got Tyler on the hard push. Finds George Davis. George's three is up, off back iron. And the Lions clear it. Kendall Morris on the drive down the baseline. They're going to get Landon Stels on the reach.
And those first two possessions for Pewaukee, those are good shots. They didn't fall that particular time, but those are the types of shots that Pewaukee's looking for.
Back underneath here, we're using that baseline camera tonight. Just under 17 minutes, just a minute into the game. We got nothing on the board yet. Pewaukee and Augustine prep here underway. There's Williams on a drive, and the floater is up and good. He'll give the Lions a 2-0 lead. And that penetration has been one of the things that has been challenging for the Pirates in the early going defensively. Back the other way for St. Augustine. This is Williams, kicks it out. He's got Mathis. Mathis three is off, and Tkachenko clears it for Pewaukee. Schaefer working a little two-man game with Johnny Gertis. He's got a good size advantage. Back up top to Stels. Stels hounded, and Augustine is out of there with it. And Pirates off to a little bit of a rocky start, Casey.
Yeah, these last two possessions, they were trying to get the ball into post, but they just weren't getting them there.
That layup comes off to Jonah Schaefer. He's on the hard push. Back ahead. Stels, corner three. That is up and true. Landon puts the Pirates on the board with the first three of the night.
And you'll probably see a lot of that attack and kick for Pewaukee again today. You're going to see a hard attack to the paint, hard jump stop and kick.
And they're going to get another foul down here. It's going to go against John Gertis. And Coach Burkemper will go to the bench for the first time. He's going to sub sophomore Nick Templison for Jonah Schaefer. Nick has had a couple really nice outings. He's coming in 7 points a game, shooting it at 44%, 43.5 from 3 for Nick. Another rebound there for Gertis on the long 3, and Pirates are out of there with it.
Yeah, that'll be a big piece for Pewaukee today, is not giving up second chance opportunities and getting those defensive rebounds.
And there's Tyler for his first 3 from the top of the key in transition. Gives the Pirates a 6-2 lead. Williams on the other way. That one comes off and it'll scoot out of bounds. Pirate basketball.
And as we mentioned a few times, the size of Pewaukee will be a big differentiator if they use it appropriately. Run these guys off the line, make them get into the lane, and force tough shots over the size of Pewaukee. And they just got even bigger today, or right now, as Cade just walked in the lineup as well.
Cade Rykowski and Rex Melkowski, the football skis. A couple of Pirate football, basketball guys, and there goes that man. As advertised at the outset, and if my math's correct, that's 2 out of 3. That outrageous shooting percentage is going up, Casey. Tyler is an otherworldly shooter, and part of it is that speed of that release that we talk about. So smooth. 9-2 here. Williams met in the lane by Rykowski. Templis out of there with it for the Pirates. Out ahead to Stels. He finds Tichenko, another 3, and that one is off the mark. Cleared by King, Brian King of the Lions. Let's see, St. Augustine maybe want to slow it down a little bit, find a good shot, feeling the momentum shifting towards our Pirates, Casey.
Yeah, and it's because there's a charge there. But you're right, that momentum is shifting. The Pewaukee is forcing some very difficult shots early on, and they have not given up an offensive rebound. That's going to be the key of today's game. 1, control the basketball against their press, and 2, get every defensive rebound.
Yeah, after that rocky start, Pirates really have stabilized here. We'll see if they can play at their pace. You know, you can see St. Augustine going to try to pick these guys up full court, which could be a challenge, and that's going to be a quick foul. I think they're going to get Kendall Morris on the foul for St. Augustine. It's their second foul rather on the Lions. Pirates doing a good job of calmly breaking that press. Out ahead, baseline. Nick Templis up with it, blocked, but did land out of bounds, so it'll stay down there for the Pirates. Martavian Williams came over on the block, but it landed out of bounds down on the baseline. It'll be Pirates ball down there. Davis triggers it into Schaefer. Back to Davis. 3-pointer is up. Off the mark. Big Cade Rykowski with the board and the bucket. If you're joining us from St. Augustine, that there is one bad man on the football field and a all-state offensive and defensive tackle and just a junior. Great rebound and just great footwork to finish it off for the big fella. Good closeout by Nick Templis. Morris thought he had a 3 but thought better of it. Back up top, that 3 is off the mark and Templis clears, and he's got it ahead to Jonah Schaefer for the Pirates. Back up top. Templis nearly loses it. He finds Rex Malkowski trapped the double in the corner, and that one is thrown away. And the Lions are back ahead with it. That bank is open.
Big shot for St. Augustine Prep. They needed something to fall. They worked into the bank, but they needed something to kind of keep this game close right now.
Yeah, whatever it takes to get off the schneid. They were sitting on 2 for a minute and all of a sudden you're back within 6 on a Christmas present of a 3 for the Lions.
Now they're having a hard time getting into the post. As we mentioned, Pewaukee has a significant size advantage today, so they're going to have to hit some deep shots and or get to the basket before Pewaukee's defense gets set.
Tichenko will try low block. going to work. Beautiful spin move. That one comes off, but he's right there with that quick second jump and tips it in.
And I think that's an underrated part of Tyler's game is he can put his back to the basket and go downhill and do those spin moves. You'll see a little fadeaway jumper that he likes to shoot as well, but it is a key piece of his game.
Good job by Gertis jumping in the passing lane. And then that one's poked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Pirates. It's Brian Billups knocked it out of bounds to stop the fast break. Nice steal by Gertis.
John just always seems to be around the basketball.
Davis penetrates, gets into the lane, and draws a foul. This is probably one of the bigger lineups right now with you've got Rajkowski, Tkachenko, Gertis, and Davis all in there, and they're trying to prioritize getting the ball inside. That one finds its way back out to Schaefer. The three is long, but there is John on the hustle reload. Back out to Tkachenko. Run screen and roll with Rajkowski. That one is thrown away. Out back ahead are the Lions. Schaefer's got the rebound, wrestling down there with Demarius Zalakoffer. And that one, I think they're just going to rule out of bounds. Is that?
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he called a jumper, if it just popped out and they called it out of bounds.
They're just going to rule it out of bounds on the Pirates. It'll be down here on the baseline here for Augustine Prep. 13-5 here, just under 11 minutes to play in the first half. Pirate basketball. And then there is another foul.
A pretty nice out of bounds play by St. Augustine Prep where, you know, the guard here, he cut to the outside as soon as John turned his head, he cut back door. And he ran into the Cade and John are big twin towers in there, but he was able to draw that foul. Oh, looks like they called it on the ground, so we'll be baseline out of bounds here.
Right, back underneath here. Augustine working around the perimeter. Definitely a team that looks to drive, get that penetration, and work out of getting a couple feet in the lane. That time, Tyler was able to pluck it out of there and back ahead to Schaefer. Schaefer has it poked away, and here comes St. Augustine, an easy one for Jacoby Mathis.
And that's a guy Pewaukee does not want to get going. Jacoby Mathis averaging 21 points a game, and he's already got over 1,000 points in his career, and he's only a junior.
Back inside, down the other end, Johnny Gertis for two. 15-7, he gives the Pirates an 8-point lead. Now when John got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. And the Lions back to slow it down, pull it out. Content to get some penetration kick. That's what it's been. There's a nice drive. That is Brian Billups with the two for the Lions, and they're back within 6. Tkachenko to George Davis underneath. The floater's off, but there's John Gertis on the reload back out to Stells. The aggressive ball pressure defense of the Lions is keeping another great hustle board for John Gertis, but that one's going to go off George Davis's foot. What I was about to say, Casey, they're playing very aggressive and they're really not reaching and fouling, which is impressive.
It really is
for a team like this to be able to play with that level of intensity and not pick up cheap fouls.
Yeah, they're causing some problems for Pewaukee right now. It's not that they're getting steals, they're just kind of knocking Pewaukee out of their rhythm a bit.
All right, 15-9, under 8:40 now in the first half. Pirates clinging to a lead. There's a drive, a lot of contact underneath, no call. But very strong putback by Mathis. He just was unrelenting on that finish and brings the Lions to within 4. And there he is again on the finish. And Coach Burkemper is going to call a timeout as Jacoby Mathis with a flurry has the Lions back to within a bucket, Casey.
Yeah, as you mentioned just momentarily, you don't want to get Jacoby Mathis going. Last year, even as a freshman, averaged 22 a game. Last year, 24, and he's got 21 a clip this year. You know, he can fill it up quick. But the key, and we mentioned it on the outset here, how can they handle the pressure against this press? And we just saw a couple turnovers that led to some easy runouts. Early in the game, they weren't turning the ball over. They were getting good shots. And in a matter of 45, 50 seconds, they just scored 6 quick points and cut a pretty good lead. And now we got a 2-point game.
Yeah, Coach Burkemper will go back to a lineup of Templis, Stels, Gertis, Rykowski, and Tkachenko. That the pressure is starting to mount. You can tell this is not going to be an easy out tonight for Pewaukee, Casey.
Yeah, St. Augustine Prep is very aggressive. You can see they want to speed this game up. They want to make it, I don't want to say out of control, but they don't want Pewaukee to get settled into their offense. So continue to see this full court man-to-man press. I saw a previous game they run a little bit of a 1-2-2 as well, so they'll probably switch it up just to keep Pewaukee off balance.
Templis triggers it into Landon Stels, back to Templis, and he gets it to Tkachenko, spins it opposite, inside to the big fella, Rykowski working his way down, draws extra attention, back over to Templis. Tkachenko with a nice dish underneath to Rykowski. Rykowski's reverse layup comes off, and here come the Lions with a chance to tie the game. Back out, good look at 3. That is off the back iron, and Nick Templis has the rebound for Pewaukee. Nick ahead, he's got Landon Stels, corner 3, off the mark. Gertis fighting for the rebound, but out-dueled by Zalakoffer of the Lions, and here come the Lions. So kind of been a game of spurts. Slow start for the Pirates, got it going, and now they've cooled off again. Let's see if they can get the ball in the hands of Tkachenko. He's been such a calming presence offensively, getting him an easy one.
Yeah, they ran a pretty nice two-man game with Tkachenko and Cade the last possession, just missed the layup underneath, but it was a pretty good, space to floor, get the two-man game going.
It's got Billups down there, and I think they're going to get Billups for a foul.
And it looks like Pewaukee is starting to shift a little bit more to that two-man game, a little bit of pick and roll on one side, put 3 offensive players on the other side where they're coming off screens, maybe some flares. But, expect to see that to try and get some switches and get some mismatches.
All right, Schaefer back in the game for the Pirates. He's working down there with big Cade Rykowski. Rykowski skips it over to Gertis. Jonah trapped up top, finds Cade Rykowski, dumps it down to Johnny. Johnny, a lot of contact, no call, and here come the Lions back at the other end, and Brian King is true, and we have ourselves a tie game, Casey.
They knew this one wasn't going to be easy. It's going to be a battle of tempos right here.
There, the press is broken, and they're going to get Rykowski on the offensive foul. Just a kind of a tough situation where you're going to make a play on the ball, and that's a whole lot of Cade Rykowski that took the Lions player to the floor. A tough bang-bang call, but they'll give it back to St. Augustine with a chance to take the lead. And I think we've got a bench warning here on Pewaukee. And Coach Burkemper liked that call. It's such a tough game to officiate with a guy like Cade. He's such a big guy that he's just making a play for the ball and happened to roll that guy over.
Yeah, there are times that Cade just seems to be the person of bad luck, where he's just such a big person that a little bump from him, people go flying, and it oftentimes looks a lot worse than probably is.
There's a three for Tkachenko, and he's going to be fouled. Ramir Hunter, a little bit overzealous on the closeout, and Tyler will shoot three. And that might be just what the doctor ordered, Casey, is a trip to the charity stripe for Tyler. Slow this thing down a little bit and get the Pirates off 15 points, which you've been stuck on for quite a while.
Yeah, they do got to get over that 15-point mark like you mentioned. But the big thing right now is Pewaukee needs to just settle down. They beat the press a couple times, but it just seems like their offense is going a little quicker than they usually are used to. And they're not getting their feet set. They're not playing off 2 feet. And some of these layups are, 6-footers that they usually drop. They're just a little bit off balance because they're a touch quicker than they're used to.
Yeah, it is a quick moving game. Oddly, we're at 17-15, so that frenetic pace hasn't amounted to a lot of scoring. Different than a lot of the games. Pirates have been in some real high-scoring battles this year, and this one's got the looks of a dogfighter in the first half.
Yeah, it's always easier said than done as the tempo changes. You're playing a different style. You're mainly playing against a bunch of guards that are really trying to speed this up, where a guy like Tyler, John, George, they're used to having a little bit more size that they're battling with. Now they got to stay in front of these 6-foot guards that are very quick.
Inside back at the other end, that is Martavian Williams. Just a freshman with a real strong take and finish at the rim. He draws the Lions back to within a point. Davis, nice job breaking the press. Up ahead, they find Templis for the easy bucket. Man, when they break the press the right way, it looks easy, doesn't it,
Casey? It sure
Casey?
does. It's an easy game, but again, easier said than done. That was a great press break. They took their time. They crisp passes and had a wide open layup at the end of it.
Tkachenko, quick trigger three. That is off. But look at that guy down there fighting for it. Johnny almost pulled on another offensive rebound, but the Lions are out of there with it. Out to Martavian Williams. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Again, if you're joining us late, we're going to have some alumni come on and visit us at halftime, and in the second half, we got some legends in the building of the 3 state titles, and be fun to hear from some of our alumni who are in town for Christmas.
Yeah, it's always good to have the alumni back in the building. As you mentioned, we look to our left. There's probably, and I'm not even exaggerating, about 10,000 points worth of Pewaukee basketball to our left right now, sitting in the bleachers among a lot of the players that are sitting here.
We'll get a camera over on them. See if we can. Yeah, sure enough. Back the other way, the Lions connect and make it a 1-point game. Tkachenko on the drive, a lot of contact. Here comes Martavian Williams, kicks it over. Mathis's three is off. Williams fights for the rebound, kicks it underneath, and that is up and good for Brian King, and the Lions have themselves a lead.
And that's one of the first times this game that St. Augustine Prep has gotten an offensive rebound, which led to the reload and a quick basket on their behalf.
Templis back up top to Schaefer. Spin it to the corner to John Gertis. Back up top to Schaefer. Find George Davis. George got a good look at three, and that is good. George Davis puts the Pirates back ahead.
When George gets his feet set, it just feels like every shot he takes is going in. The key thing is getting on balance and taking those high percentage shots.
3:30 left here. Davis working down low, and Templis had a strip. They're going to get, I think they're going to get Schaefer on the call. Or they're going to get it on Templis. Very close to a clean strip down there. A little bit of contact, and that will put Martavian Williams to the line. I got to say, this kid, just a freshman, has been very impressive in the early going. for St. Augustine.
And he's averaging 15 a game, 15 points, 5.9 rebounds as a freshman. He's got good size to him, too, as a freshman, but he plays pretty physical.
Yeah, very strong around the basket and looks very confident with the ball in his hand. Draws the Lions within a point rather. Or I'm sorry, a tie game, 23-all. Back on the other end, we got a foul on the Lions. King will pick up the foul. That is the 7th-team foul, so we will be shooting the bonus for the rest of the way for Pewaukee. Stels will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
And collectively for Pewaukee, they're a good free throw shooting team, so in order to get into the bonus early, can be beneficial for them to get some points on the board.
Back down the other end. The Pirates lost that front end of that 1-on-1. It's killer. And here comes Williams, rather. Back out. And just unrelenting on the glass. Williams will go to the line to shoot 2 on the foul on John Gertis. So I mentioned some of our alumni. There's a crew over there, and we'll have some over there. You see Josh Terry and Owen Hake. Emmett Lowe's over there. Some of the guys from the past few seasons. We'll have some folks over here to talk to us at halftime and carry through in the second half. First free throw is off for Williams, so the game will remain tied. Kingdom Prep, Casey, we did a little bit of homework. About 2,100 kids at the prep school, founded by Gus Ramirez from Husco International Philanthropic Efforts, and just a beautiful campus that we took a look at online, and really cool stuff going on at St. Augustine. So I learned a little bit about that, and a great, academic program that's really pushing kids. Southside campus, and as I understand it, they've purchased the Cardinal Stritch campus and are going to be expanding. So a very cool and unique opportunity for a lot of kids down there on the south side that'll expand to the north side of Milwaukee. Kudos to Gus Ramirez and everybody that's got it going on over there at St. Augustine Prep.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, we checked out the facility via their website, which very well done. Everything, is put together real nice, but it's a great spot for these young kids, young adults to kind of grow both athletically and academically. So it's great to see this, and it's a new tradition here for Pewaukee as well. I did check, St. Augustine's Prep's been around 7 years. This is the first ever meeting between Pewaukee and St. Augustine Prep. Yeah,
it's always fun to see different schools that you haven't seen as much of before come into Pewaukee, and this has proven to be a nice game too. That's the other part of it. They got some really nice players out here. Been very impressed with Williams at the outset, and the Jacoby Mathis has been as advertised. Got real hot there. This one's going to come back the other direction. They're going to get Williams on a illegal screen. Got a little bit aggressive on the screen, and they'll get him a rest so he doesn't pick up his third foul. That was Williams' second foul.
This feels like a key possession for Pewaukee. They want to beat this press and try and get a good look, but you want to start building that lead before you get to halftime, so we'll see how they kind of handle the pressure here.
Stels might have had, and Gertis looking cross-court to Tachenko, and that one comes off the hands. Got ourselves a dogfight, Casey. This it looked like the Pirates might pull away at the early outset, but not so much. The Lions have fought back and have themselves a 1-point lead here with under 3 minutes to play in the first half. And they're going to get a hold down underneath. I think they're going to get John Gertis on the foul, and that will be the 7th foul on the Pirates. So that's going to send Augustine Prep to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
And more importantly, it looks like it's the 3rd on John, so he'll have to take a seat here in the first half.
Rex Melkowski jumping in for Gertis. He'll rest to steer clear of that fourth foul. Again, big thank you to our sponsors this year. You see Sensational Beach Vacations. Stay tuned. Tom Brousseau is going to give away another trip this year, and you'll have a chance to enter into that over the course of the next few weeks, which is exciting. But also Phoenix Pest Control, new sponsor this year, and our old friends at Iron Jock. Thank you to all three of them as basketball sponsors for PTV and Pewaukee Athletics. Could not do it without you. Free throws are up and good for Kendall Morris, and he gives the Lions a 3-point lead. Malkowski trapped, nowhere to go, and Coach Burkemper is going to take a timeout.
Yeah, they're just out of sorts right now with that press break. They just can't seem to be able to get the ball to the middle. And you've seen it a few times. They have hit the middle. They beat the ball up court quick, got those layups. But there's a couple times they just can't quite seem to get in rhythm where both guys are moving at the same time. One's pulling into the middle where the other should be going to the sideline. They're just quite not getting the rotations at the right time.
Yeah, so 2.5 minutes to go here. Coach Burkemper saw that trap coming and took a timeout. Maybe an opportunity to exhale a little bit, get these guys centered and focused. You want to put together a nice 2.5 minutes to close the half here. It's gotten helter-skelter. You got to believe this is the kind of game that the Lions came in here wanting to play and to put the Pirates into a game where feeling that pressure, turning the ball over, and taking some real contested shots. And that's exactly what's happened over the course of the last 10 minutes.
That's exactly it. And as you mentioned, it's been tough to score for both teams. We're at a 26-23 game right now, which in this era of basketball seems low. I mean, back when we played, that'd be a high-scoring game when we were winning 42-39 in a full game. But in today's era, teams are in the 70s, 80s. But it's been tough to score. I mean, St. Augustine Prep is struggling against the size of Pewaukee, and Pewaukee, quite frankly, is struggling with the speed and pressure that St. Augustine Prep is putting on.
All right, Pirates will inbound side court. Stelz will be the trigger man. He gets it into George Davis. And back up top to Schaefer. That ball is poked free by the Lions, and here comes Mathis to Euro, and that one hit Casey Lauer for the bench. It'll be a turnover back into the hands of the Pirates. Back out ahead, Schaefer kicks it to the corner. Templis 3. That is off rim. Rex Malkowski keeps it alive for Templis. Spins it over. Schaefer's 3. And that is off the mark. And here come those Lions. Mathis got to look at 3. That one is short iron. And here comes Schaefer. Low, and it's going to be called for steps. Recovered the fumble, but had to take a tumble to get it. And Pirates just out of sorts right now, Casey.
Yeah, they just can't quite get in rhythm. This last possession, they did get the ball up the floor, and they had 2 open looks, just weren't able to capitalize. But again, it just seems like every shot is a bit rushed, and they're not getting set. But that is credit to the defense of St. Augustine Prep right now.
All right, minute 45 remaining. Rex Malkowski out there picking up the ball for Pewaukee. Got Tachenko, Davis, Schaefer, Templis, and Malkowski. Pirates not able to use that size advantage really on the offensive side, and it has been a drive and kick operation from these Lions. Mathis gets to the lane. Good D by Schaefer, walls him off. A good patience by the Lions, and floater is off and cleared by Tachenko. Davis on the hard push, and Davis is good at the rim. Brings the Pirates to within a bucket.
George does such a good job of getting on balance off 2 feet. Instead of going in thin and going off 1 and getting bumped and potentially being off balance, he's hard jump stop off 2 feet and finishes strong.
Big block underneath by Tkachenko, but man, do these guys battle. Tyler is out of there with it and kicks it to the corner. Davis, 3-ball is money. And he gives the Pirates a 28-26 lead. Timely 3 for the senior. And the Pirates are ahead by 2 with just under 20 seconds left here in the first half. Again, don't leave us at halftime. We're going to hear from some of your alumni momentarily, and they're going to get one more foul. So how about these guys? You remember these guys, Casey? We're going to hear from some of these guys at halftime. You got the brothers Janowski over there, Milan Momcilovic. His brother Luka is here tonight, and Josh Tarian you see on the screen. We're going to hear from some of these guys at halftime. Talk about, I don't know if they're the glory days yet, but a couple of these guys, if you're still active as college hoopers like these guys are, I don't think it's the glory days yet. I'd love to hear some of their input here in 5 seconds as we take it into halftime.
Yeah, we got all-time leading scorers at Pewaukee scoring 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 to our left right now. And again, I mentioned early on about 10,000 total points collectively amongst that group here.
And they're going to get a foul at half court on the heat from Schaefer, and that is the epitome of a gray hair foul for Coach. 2.5 seconds left, and Schaefer's going to go to the line and shoot the bonus. It's still the 9th team foul, so it'd still be 1-1, but that was going to be a shot from 2 steps inside of half court, and the Lions let him off the hook, and Jonah makes him pay, knocks down the first one.
Yeah, big to capitalize on these. As you said, that is one of those fouls where Jonah was about to take a 40-foot heave, and now he's ended up getting 2 free throws. Just make sure Pewaukee doesn't do the same. Make it difficult, but don't foul.
It is. And we got Milan Momcilovic is going to join us down here.
Appreciate it.
One of his old running mates, Nick Janowski. Should we get one more, or should we just talk to you? Guys are both talkers. I don't know if we can handle a third guy talking in that same mic. Nick, how's it going, buddy?
It's going very well. How are you?
You're home for the holidays from St. Thomas?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you guys are off to, I got notes here. You guys are off to a good start. We've been watching you guys. 10-4?
Yes, sir.
Going to be in the big dance, win that Summit League title.
No doubt in my mind.
Maybe a showdown with Iowa State. The Cyclones are off to a pretty good start too, aren't they, Milan?
Yeah, undefeated. St. Thomas, they don't want to see us.
All right.
I disagree.
We've got Milan Momcilovic and Nick. We're going to talk to some of these other guys here too. Hard-fought first half for these Pirates. What do they got to do? You guys have been in games like this where a team tries to kind of scrap it up on you a little bit. What do these Pirates need to do? What's Coach Burkemper telling them at halftime right now, Milan? What do you think is going on in that Pirate locker room?
First of all, I think they just got to find a way to break the press. I think that's clear. The other team, they caused a lot of turnovers on the press, so break the press, and I think we're a little rushed right now.
I think so,
Getting
too.
a lot of quick threes, and I don't think that's what Burkemper wants, so just calm it down just a little bit. We'll be fine.
All right. Nick, what do you think? What's going on in there?
Well, I would just say that when you break a press, you have to be the aggressor on offense, and right now we are on our heels, and we're throwing loop passes, and instead of, the last time we attacked the press, we actually got a foul, so second half we got to attack the press and be the aggressor on offense instead of playing on our heels. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, it's it's a team that's adjusting to playing out. We got another couple of these guys. Your little brother and Isaiah have been Carson Osterman are here, have been such a big part of it. And these guys adjusting to life without another group of seniors. But it's kind of been cool. And one of the things I know was a big deal to Coach Burkemper was having guys come back like this. What does it mean to you guys come back, see so many of your teammates, see your banners up there from 3 state championships in a row? Pretty epic run you were on, but it's got to be fun to come back and talk to some of your teammates that you don't get to see every day, for sure and for certain. I know both of you guys, your travel schedule's been insane. Nick, you've been all across the country. It's about to get insane for you, Milan. How cool is it to come back home and see some of your buddies?
It's definitely cool to come back and see everyone, see the coaching staff is still here. None of them really left, and just to see what we kind of did for this program, and everyone's still invested in it and really wants to see this program do good. It's cool things, and just great to hang around these guys and just talk basketball with them for real.
Yeah, it's a special community, isn't it, Nick?
It absolutely is. This community eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball, and these guys right here, I mean, it's absolutely amazing to see them because we don't get to see them as often anymore, and to come back and just talk, like Milan said, talk basketball with great basketball minds. There's nothing like it. And to see guys and see our banners and see the appreciation from the community of what we did, it really takes you back. And today's that really, to be honest, I miss, because I love these guys and I miss playing with them. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool time to be a Pirate, and in one of the things that I think you guys have left a mark on your program. We talked about this earlier. This team is shooting 46.7% from three this year, and as a team, which is incredible. The other thing we talked about, and how about this, Nick? I want to let you talk about the guy to your left and another guy you played with in Tyler Tkachenko. We talked about this at the outset. These are the splits between these two guys. Milan's shooting 56.6%. Tyler's 56.2%. It's almost a mirror image. 55.2 from three, Milan. That's crazy, man. That's, I think, leading the country. Is that right? Or close to it?
Close to it.
Close to it.
Uh-huh.
Our guy Tyler, 54.8. So I think he's taking after you, big fella. And then at the free throw line, 90%, 91%.
Damn.
Nick, you know how this works. They talk about 50, 40, 90 guys. We got a couple of 50, 50, 90 guys right now, and they're 6'8" each. How do you become? And Nick, I still think in a three-point shooting contest, I ask you guys this every time you come out, Nick might get you, Milan. He might get you. What do you think?
Nick is one of the better shooters I've seen, period.
Yeah.
So,
I
don't know.
What do you make of Tyler's game? What do you see of yourself, and what do you see that's different in Tyler's game?
Well, Tyler, he has a really quick release. He has a quicker release than me. So I think that's really important out here, and he can get it off really whenever he can. And see his numbers, 50, 50, 90, averaging 20 points a game. That's a good start. Now just get a couple more wins in that column, and he'll be recognized a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the thing that is just the thing about you guys is it never was about stats. And Casey Lauer is doing a show is talking about, like, it kind of went back and forth. I think Josh was the leading scorer for a minute, and then Nick was, and then Milan was, and then Nick was. But it was never about that, was it? It was about winning games and bringing home gold balls for you guys. And that, I think, is one of the cool things that keeps the tradition alive, is that it's not about the individual success. It's about what you guys do as a team. And you guys have both been really good examples of that for these guys and all the youth that are out there in the community. All right, let's talk college hoops with you guys. We'll get away from Pewaukee for a second. Nick, your first year up there at St. Thomas, and one of the interesting things that's kind of cool for both of you guys is we're watching you guys play with guys that we saw you play against in high school. You're up there with some Wisconsin guys and getting a feel for it, but a real nice team up at St. Thomas. What are you looking forward to back end of the year for as you guys get into the conference season?
Well, we have a really good team right now. I think in the start of the year we hadn't played with each other enough. And we were very young as a team, just in general. My first college season actually playing, and a lot of guys who actually got good minutes on our team. Same deal for them. So we've just been gelling together, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the conference season. We play against some better teams, and hopefully we can run the table in the conference and then run the table, more importantly, in the Summer League tournament and make the tournament this year. So.
All right. Well, it'd be a really cool story. The first year St. Thomas is eligible for NCAA tournament, right?
Yes, sir.
That is very exciting, and you're up there. with Luca, who's redshirting, right? Milan's little brother. He'll be in the mix up there at St. Thomas next year. I say little brother, but he's probably right there with you eye to eye at this point, isn't he? No, you got him by an inch?
I still got him by a little bit, and I still weigh a little bit more than him. So.
Yeah, but going over to you, Milan, it's been a blistering start for you and your Cyclones. What's different about this year's team, and what are you excited about in the second half of the year and getting into the Big 12 conference schedule right away after Christmas, right?
Yeah, I just think this team, everyone kind of knows their role, so no one's kind of trying to do too much or do not as much, so I think that's a good start. But like you said, we haven't even played the Big 12 schedule yet, and that's where we'll play a lot of better teams. We've played some good teams, but a lot of just bad teams.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Last year we got up to 2 in the country too, and we kind of fell off. So hopefully this year we can sustain it a little bit more.
It'll be fun to watch you on the back end of the season. That game out at Purdue a couple weeks ago was absolutely had to be electric to put a crowd like that to sleep, really, in that type of environment. We're really excited to cheer for both of you guys. You make the Pewaukee community proud, not because you're phenomenal basketball players, but the way you guys go about doing it. So thanks for jumping down. And you know what? Why don't you go get your big brother Ashton and Mr. Josh Terrian to join us? And you know, depending on how this comes down, we'll keep you guys filtering down here. But thank you guys for coming and seeing us. Best of luck in the back end of your college seasons. You know, you got the whole community of Pewaukee's pulling for both of you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Thanks, fellas. All right, we're gonna get some of the OGs down here. These are the young bloods, I think, on this this epic run. But I want to get the OGs down here, and we're gonna talk a little bit second half here with Josh and Ashton. Fellas, how we doing, Josh?
Good, how are you?
Good. We got Josh Cherian from Michigan Tech and Ashton Janowski from Hillsdale. You guys are seniors in college. When did that happen?
We're old, man. It's crazy.
We just talked to Nick and Milan, and these guys are the young pups in this whole epic run. Off to a pretty darn good season up at Michigan Tech. Got a chance to watch you in those first couple games. You had a wild tournament down there in Florida, about 11-1, Josh, for the Huskies.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Good start.
And an NCAA tournament on the horizon here. You take care of business in conference.
That's the goal.
That is the goal.
It's going to be a competitive conference season, but looking to make a deep run this year.
Excellent. Well, thanks for stopping down. All right. Before we get back to halftime, I got to show everybody this. This, you know, we got a lot of alumni, but this guy next to you must have seen this. Ashton's got it.
Seconds to shoot. Brewer on the right wing. Smeltzer, 6 to shoot. Smeltzer draws the double. Tough shot, and he cannot get it to go. Morgan rebounds. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Chargers don't call timeout. Janowski for the win. Yes!
So up and down year, Ashton.
Yeah.
But that had to be pretty epic. Game winner against Ohio Christian to begin right at the beginning of the year, right? That is probably one of the coolest things I've seen from a Pewaukee alumni.
Yeah.
What did it feel like to hit that one?
No, I appreciate it. It felt good. It's kind of been the story of our season. It's been a fight. A lot of new guys in new positions, playing new roles, and you know, as a leader on the team, like you said, I'm an older guy now, believe it or not, and it's kind of your job to calm the storm, weather the storm, and when big shots are needed, you got to step up and make the big shots. And ball was in my hands, so I had to go ahead and do that.
Well, that was awesome, and one I wanted to share with the Pirates. There's so many of you guys playing in college. It's hard to keep track of all you guys, and that was one that was really cool to see.
I appreciate it.
3 down on the other end, back in action. Tachenko is good. And you just said something I think that's pertinent to this game, Ashton. Playing with poise and composure was a problem in the back end of that first half for the Pirates. Josh, Ashton, what do we need to see from these Pirates to take a hold of this thing, take care of the basketball in the second half?
Yeah, I would say first is just making sure you have the floor properly spaced. A lot of times when you got 3 guys in the corner and 94 feet from the hoop, that's not a very good way of breaking a press. So first, just get into your spots, spacing the floor, and then if you're a guard on this team, you got to actually want the ball. You can't run away from it. So having a little bit of ownership of, yeah, it's a press, but if we make 1 or 2 good passes out of it, maybe make a couple ball fakes here and there, it turns into a layup drill pretty quickly. So hopefully Coach Burkemper reiterated that at halftime, and hopefully you see a little bit more of that here in the second half.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit with Milan and Nick. What would you, Josh, have expected the message to be in halftime in a game like this? You were in that locker room so many times with Coach Burkemper, a game that maybe really got away from the Pirates a little bit, the back half of the first half. What does Coach Burkemper try to implore on the team to kind of settle down and make sure that they can take care of the basketball in the second half?
Yeah, I just say settle down a little bit, get back to the fundamentals, the things you practice every single day in practice, and just get some confidence. I mean, already here in the first 2 minutes, they look like a completely different team out there, playing with some energy and talking and moving around, playing with better pace. So just got to settle in and be confident out there.
It's Martavian Williams with the bucket for the Lions. Back down here to Tachenko. His three is up and good. We were talking about him earlier. He is shooting 54% from three to start the season. Just absolutely insane. A startlingly similar stat line to our guy Milan. 50-50-90 for Tyler to start the season. Just an incredible shooter, and he was true on that one. And right back at it. That is Jacoby Mathis for the Lions. Knocks that one down. Well, I'll let you guys get back to your buddies, but before we do that, words of wisdom. You guys are the two OGs out there. There's a lot of young Pewaukee hoopers out there that looked up to you, look up to these guys. Josh, you can go first. One piece of holiday wisdom from Josh Therrien for the youngsters out there watching on PTV tonight.
I'd say enjoy the journey. Gotta enjoy the grind of playing basketball, showing up every single day, being around with your buddies. The second you lose your love for the game, that's when it's all gonna come to a close. So Ash and I, we're still playing, and we're pretty old, but we still have a love for the game and love for the guys around us, and it's pretty cool to see these alumni come back and talk to them about college. So it truly is special. So love the game and just have fun with it.
Yeah, we love having you guys down here, and it is one of the things I know is so important to Coach Burkemper to keep the tradition going. How about you, Ashton? Advice to the youngsters out there that have looked up to you guys, look up to the guys that they're seeing on the floor?
Yeah, I would second what Josh said. I mean, I think first and foremost is just falling in love with the work and the process. Nothing worth having comes easy, and I think especially in today's world, everyone wants things quick and easy, and that's not really exactly how things work. So being able to understand that and then also put in the work that's necessary to get to where you want to go, and then also weathering the storm, because you can put in all the work and sometimes shots just aren't going to fall or it's not going to be your night, but being able to understand the bigger picture and ultimately where you're trying to go with individually and as a team, I think is unfortunately gets lost, especially among young players, is one bad game they want to quit the sport. And I've been there, and instead of thinking that way, it's more of, okay, that's a data point, but I can learn from that experience, and taking every experience, good and bad, as a learning opportunity is ultimately going to get you where you want to go a lot faster than people who want things quick and easy. So I know I had a lot of good people in my corner helping me out with that, because it's not easy, especially as a young player. So continuing to reiterate that and hammer that home, I think, is really important.
Well, it's great advice, fellas, and great to see you both again. Have a Merry Christmas, and best of luck in the back half of your senior seasons. I can't believe I'm even saying that. It feels like it was just yesterday. We were watching you guys hoist a couple of banners down here in Pewaukee, but great to see you guys again. We're going to get back to the second half. Enjoy the time with your teammates. Enjoy the time with your family over the holiday weekend. Good to see you guys.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Ashton Janowski, senior point guard at Hillsdale, and Josh Therrien, senior over there at Michigan Tech. Part of our alumni holiday bonanza we got going down here. We still got a few more of them that we'll hear from, but just two of the guys that really set the tone for this thing over the course of the last 6, 7, 8 years here in Pewaukee of just a culture of winning and doing it the right way. We got Casey Lauer back. He graciously gave up his microphone for a couple of those alumni fellas. So Casey's back. And we've opened up a little bit of a lead, Casey. 42-32 here, 14 minutes to go.
I was thinking as I was sitting off to the side, I may as well just stay over here and let, you bring these guys that score thousands of points in their career to sit at the table. It just opens up the scoring here.
Yeah, and it was interesting. We talked about the composure and the message in a game like this of just taking care of the basketball. It sounds simple, but the fundamentals of doing what you've done in practice so many times is what will make or break a game like this.
And that has been the difference so far in the second half is not only are they getting buckets, they're getting buckets because they're beating the press and staying under control.
Great finish by Jonah Schaefer, and the Pirates have opened up a 12-point lead here with 13:30 to go in the second half. That one is good in the lane.
Yeah, these
don't have old number 10 in the roster, but that was a nice bucket.
Yeah, number 10 is Zamari Whitmore, and he is someone that, I don't know, he didn't play the first 7 games from what I saw in their stats, but he is he scored 800 points in his first 2 years, and he is a ranked player on prephoops.com, so somebody that can definitely fill it up.
All right, you've got the intel. You got the better roster. The better roster here, Casey. 13 minutes left in the second half. Pirates with now a 10-point lead. It's Cade Rykowski, George Davis, Tyler Tichenko, Jonas Schaefer, and Landon Stels out there. And that is Landon Stels with the 3-ball from the top of the key. And Landon is true, another guy who's shooting it at a real nice clip to start the year. Big Cade Rykowski, and that's going to be a hell ball. Did a great job snuffing that out underneath on Zalakoffer. Possession arrow will keep it with the Lions. And Coach Burkemper will go to the bench to Malkowski and Templis, who will spell Stels and George Davis.
When Pewaukee can get to that half-court defense and they have their size down low, it definitely changes the game versus St. Augustine Prep speeding the game up and getting steals and getting kind of a fast break.
Yeah, going to get a foul there on Cade Rykowski, riding him a little bit. At that, showing off that lateral footwork that is making him such a highly prized offensive tackle prospect on the football. For a guy his size, he moves really, really well. Here comes Schaefer on the push. He's got Tichenko. Tichenko saves it underneath back to Schaefer. And keeps it alive underneath to Malkowski. And airmails it. Had Tichenko open, but just a little bit sped up over there.
Yeah, that was one of those. You felt to get down to Rex, and everything was going super fast, and he turned quick thinking Tyler was open, and the guy came cutting through and kind of took the lane away, so he kind of airmailed it right over the top of Tyler's head.
Back at it, the Lions trying to get the offense going in the second half. It's been tough sledding for them here. There's a 3 for Mathis in the corner, and he is up and good. And that is just what the doctor ordered for the Lions, and they're back to within 10.
That gives Mathis 12 on the day.
Malkowski up top to Tichenko. Tichenko's 3 is good. Yeah, and they'll call it timeout for the Lions.
In a blink of an eye, as we talked multiple games now, Tyler can get hot and he becomes super streaky, and before you know it, he's got 20 points. So this second half started, he hit a couple threes, he'll get a few free throws, he's going to find some buckets around the basket, and very quickly that adds up to a 20-point game. But again, as we mentioned in the offset, you mentioned at halftime when I looked over, his percentages are very high. He's not a high shooter in sense of taking 25, 30 shots a game. He's scoring 20 points on 10 or 11 shots per game right now.
Yeah, it is. And every 3 that leaves his hands, don't you expect
it feels
it's going
like it's
in?
Going in. You're exactly right.
It comes off so clean and so quick that you're almost shocked when it even draws any part of the rim, much less a miss. So it's 50-37 now, 11:40 to play, and Augustine Prep wanted to talk it over. Offensively, it looks like they might be wearing down a little bit, Casey. That effort and exertion of the first half, which is a team that plays very hard, seems like it might be catching up with them a little bit, and the Pirates are, a couple possessions away of really putting down the throttle and making this a tough hill to overcome. Mathis, 3 comes off, and Templis does a good job to clear that rebound in traffic. Schaefer over to Malkowski. Pachenko working on the fade. That comes off. And here come the Lions. Zalakoffer is fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
This feels like a big part of the game right now. This next maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Can Pewaukee create a bigger gap in the lead, or will St. Augustine Prep be able to cut this in half? So we'll see how this next 3 to 4 minutes will kind of carry out.
We're going to keep talking to alumni to keep it going. We got Emmett Lowe here. Another one of the OGs, nice and close to that microphone, Emmett. Another 2-time state champion and member of the Loras College basketball team right now. Senior for you, too?
Correct, yes.
You got an extra year in there coming?
I do, but I don't think I'm going to be using that
You're
one.
going to graduate.
Yes.
You're going to do something other than basketball when you grow up.
Yep.
Good man, Emmett. I've got some stats here. Tells me you guys are 8-2. Am I right here?
Yeah, we've been playing well this year. We're 8-2 right now.
8-2, and how's it going for Emmett? You've gone through some injuries. We obviously have seen that, but you're back. You're healthy. How has the year gone for you personally, Emmett?
Yeah, it's really my first healthy year of college basketball so far. Had 2 knee surgeries and broken hand in there, so it's been going well. Really been enjoying my first healthy year. Started every game so far, so on an 8-2 team, playing with my buddies.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
That is awesome, and we're all so happy for you here in Pewaukee. Obviously, that first knee injury kind of railroaded your senior season. And then having to battle through it, but such a good example of resilience. We got a lot of kids in Pewaukee, especially on the girls' side of the ball, that have gone through injury after injury, and I think having guys like you who overcome that and the love of the game. How did you keep your mindset throughout all of that injury bug that got you, and to stay out there and get back out there and have such a fun senior season?
Yeah, like you said, it's just resiliency and realizing every day might not be the best, but just sticking with it and knowing in the end it'll get better.
Yeah, it's an incredible journey, and you guys are off to a great start, and hopefully you put together a run, maybe an NCAA tournament in your future here in the spring.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That's the hope.
Excellent. All right, switching gears to this game, what have you seen? This was a dogfight in the first half, Emmett.
Yeah.
Pirates seem to have taken control, 10 minutes to go. What do you like from the Pirates in the second half that they weren't doing in the first?
They looked a lot more comfortable with the ball, shooting it confidently. Like you saw right there, they're getting downhill, and that's creating easier looks from 3. They've been knocking those down this half. It's been good to see.
George Davis on the trampoline gets his own rebound, gives the Pirates a 14-point lead. Well, Emmett, I asked Ashton and Josh this same question earlier. If we've got youngsters out there that are aspiring to be like these guys or looked up to all of you guys who brought home those state titles, what would your one piece of advice be to a youngster in the Pewaukee program that wants to get out here and make an impact on the court?
Yeah, stay in the gym and have fun with your friends, have fun while you're doing it. I know Ashton, Josh, and I, all these guys out here, spend countless hours in the gym, but you got to make it fun at the same time. So just keep enjoying what you're doing and have fun with it every day.
I think that is words to live by for the youngsters out there. That's Emmett Lowe, senior at Loras College, 2023 graduate?
2022.
2022,
even
man. I'm losing track of how long it's been. Well, congrats on making it back at Loras. Best to you and the team, and hopefully we're cheering for you guys at an NCAA run in the spring.
We appreciate you following along. Thank you.
All right, Emmett. Have a good evening and a wonderful Christmas.
You too. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Emmett.
That was Emmett Lowe, another member of the 2022 class that brought home two of the first 2 of the trifecta of state titles a few years ago. And we're going to get fouled down low, back at it. 9 minutes left. Pirates commanding a 14-point lead. You know, Emmett, one of those just glue players, tough as nails, involved in that run that was such a fun part of those teams that kind of got things started here in Pewaukee.
Oh, yeah, and he was a key cog in that wheel. You're exactly right. Unfortunately, he had an injury late in his career that carried into his first year of college. And as you mentioned, he had injuries after that, as Emmett just mentioned as well. But tough kid who continued to battle, and now he's having some success back in the hardwood.
Yeah, just awesome. Awesome to see. 9 minutes remaining here. Pirates clinging to a 14-point lead, have really taken control in this second half. And it's been this end. You know, this end of the floor, the intensity has picked up, and it's been tough sledding for the Lions. And I am seeing a level of intensity from this Pirate defense that could be a very big breath of fresh air moving into the second half of the season. Stelz working a two-man game. Tachenko calling for it in the post. And there is a bucket on the drop step, and I think that's a call where sometimes if that's not a foul, that might be called a flop with the new rule in play. All the same, it's 2 for Tachenko, and they've got a 16-point lead. Battling underneath, and Schaefer out of there with it. We've talked about it before. One of the things, Jonah is an incredible rebounder out of that point guard spot. Right back to Tachenko, and he ain't going to miss one that open, Casey.
He will not.
That is good. So Pirates ahead by 19, and look like they've taken control here in the second half, Casey. It's you know, we were surmising what might have been said at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked.
Yes, and I think you may have called it a few moments ago as well, that speed, intensity that St. Augustine Prep put on in the first half, could they carry that into the second half? It does appear that they're a step slower. They're not quite jumping the passing lanes. They're not getting into the gaps that they did in the first half. And Pewaukee's definitely taken advantage of it. They're attacking, they're kicking. Tyler's up to 25 points. When he is open and you can pull the defense out to the perimeter, it opens up offensive rebounds. We've seen some offensive rebounds from George Davis, John Gertis. It just changes the flow of the game, and here we are with a 19-point lead.
Trying to get a couple more alumni. Some of the Carson Osterman's going to come down and talk. Maybe we get Isaiah or Luca to come on TV. We just need some 2025s to come talk. There we go. Carson's going to come chat. We're just getting gradually maybe back to the youngsters. We got the recently departed Carson Osterman up there at UW Superior, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent. And his running mate, Isaiah Robinson. Nice and close to the microphone, Robinson, so everybody at home can hear you. Welcome back, fellas.
Yeah, thank you.
First time back as alumni, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
You guys were out here just a year ago. Well, how are things going? How are things going up at school, and how are things looking for the second half of the season? We'll start with you, Carson.
Yeah, it's been an experience, that's for sure. But no, school's been good. Basketball's been good. It's obviously just a whole nother level, and it's just been good.
Excellent. Yeah. It's fun to see you guys. How about you, Isaiah?
My experience has been pretty much the same as Carson's. It's school's it's a lot of discipline, and then basketball is obviously a lot different when at the next level.
Yeah, it's and this got to be kind of a surreal feeling coming back here to watch these guys when it was the two of you with the ball in your hand in games like this. Yeah. This one looked like it might get away from the Pirates in the first half, but they've come out taking care of the basketball and really dropped the hammer in the second half. What do you guys like that you've seen in the second half that wasn't apparent in the first half from these guys?
They're definitely more control this half.
Yeah.
With the press in the first half, their minds got sped up, so they're creating turnovers that was unnecessary. But this half, they're more calm and collective and making the right play.
Yeah, not always easy to do, but the guy to your left had the ball in his hand a lot over the last 3 years. Isaiah, how did you calm yourself down in games like this where you got a team that's just running around trapping, trying to get you to turn the ball over? What was the key to being the steady hand for the Pirates all these years?
When I was earlier, like sophomore to junior year, I actually struggled with that. It helped to have Nick and Ashton mentor me with that type of stuff. But, like, I think the most important thing is just reading the floor and scanning if it's a zone press, if they're blitzing you. If it's man-to-man, you just got to dribble the ball. There's not much to that one. You just got to dribble the ball up at that point. But it all just depends on what type of defense it is, and then just scanning and reading and not getting rushed or in a hurry.
Yeah, it is, I think easier said than done sometimes. The Pirates started off so good in the beginning of the first half, and then it got to them, and now here we are back again against this press, and they look much more under control. Yeah. As I say that, they almost lose it, of course. But here comes Tyler, and he is good at the rim. Shared this. You guys both played with him for 3 years. Shared this earlier. He's at 50, 50, 90 on his shooting splits right now. He's shooting 54% from three, which is insane, 90% from the free throw line. What do you like about Tyler's game, and how have you seen it take a step forward? Oh, Johnny had a dunk on his mind, but not quite. It's up for two. But going back to Tyler, what are you guys seeing about the maturity of Tyler's game that's maybe new this year from the guy you played with for 3 years?
Yeah, I think his confidence just grows gradually, and I think that's what's helping his game shine more. And I think it's just nice to see him finally have all the confidence in the world. And, it's his time now, and he's obviously showing what he can do, and it's good.
He certainly is. How about you, Isaiah? What do you see in Tyler's game, being out here watching this kid perform at this level?
Tyler's always been a knockdown shooter, but it's good to see him come into his own and be a three-level scorer and a rebounder and a defender, and be a leader too as well. It's been really good to see him grow up, mature.
Schaefer tied up with that one. I think it'll be a jump ball. And all right, actually, we're going to get a timeout. Coach Burkemper snuck a timeout in there as Jonah was fighting for it.
Wasting our time here.
No, it gives us more time to talk a little bit in the timeout. All right, kind of making the rounds with this question. Carson, I'll go to you first. There's a lot of young hoopers out there in the Pewaukee youth program that maybe are watching on TV tonight. What would your one piece of advice to somebody that maybe looked up to you guys or looks up to these guys about getting back out there and being somebody that can grow in the program like this? One piece of advice for a youngster out there.
I'd say don't expect results overnight. You have to stack days and be willing to trust the process, and eventually your time will come and all the hard work you put in will show. So definitely just don't expect results right away.
Good words to live by. How about you, Isaiah? One bit of advice for the youngsters.
I would say be as overly confident as you possibly could be. Like, obviously put in the work and all that, but trust the work that you put in. Like, I think that was one of the problems I struggled with even in my time here, is just being confident at all times. And not blaming anyone else for your mistakes, but just owning up to it and just staying confident and trusting the work that you put in.
That is great advice. Well, thank you, fellas, and for stopping down. Enjoy the rest of this one, and have a very Merry Christmas with your families in town. And thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the last 5 minutes with all your teammates. It's cool to have you guys back in town. Good to see both you fellas.
Merry
all right.
Christmas, PKE.
Yeah, you too.
All right, fellas. It was a couple of our class of 2025, the recent graduates, Isaiah Robinson, Carson Osterman, who were mainstays in this program for the last few years. Pirates at a 17-point lead. And pulling it back out. Casey's back. We gave him his microphone back. It's been fun catching up. That was Carson and Isaiah, and those guys, kind of a different perspective, Casey, of just having been out here a year ago, seeing it for the first time through the lens of being an alumni. But some good insights from them as well. Oh, that looked like all ball, but they're going to get Nick Templis on the foul. So 4.5 to go. Casey's clinging to a 17-point lead. Really good second half for the Pirates when you really break it down. And again, the 47 points on the board for St. Augustine has got to be the thing you're most proud of right now.
Definitely, and I mean it seems like a team that can really light up the scoreboard, the way they play, the speed, the way they get to the basket. And Pewaukee's done a really good job of just, again, a jump ball there. If they get near the basket, they make it very difficult. And they're forcing them to make jumpers outside the perimeter, and they haven't been able to knock a lot of those down right now.
Yep, the second half, ability to contain this press, attack it, and make some buckets in transition. Malkowski will take a look at a three. That comes off. But making good decisions this second half has really been the difference in the game. And down here on the defensive end, if you can stay this tight, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, they continue rebounding well. And you'll hear Coach Burkemper probably on the YouTube feed yelling patience. He wants them to work their offense, get a couple passes, run some of that clock. It's to your best benefit right now to run clock.
Comes George Davis on the hard push ahead to Templis. Templis, great job collecting it for Nick. That pass was coming in hot, but he grabbed it and cashed in for two. Gives the Pirates a 17-point lead, under 3.5 to go here in the second half.
Yeah, the key for Pewaukee right now, no second chance opportunities. Buckle down on defense, any shot that goes up, corral the rebound, and then get into your offensive sets.
Yeah, another foul underneath here. Back to the bench, Carson Buckberger with the first minutes tonight. Freshman, kind of wearing two hats. Had a nice game earlier in the JV game. We'll get some run here tonight. And Ladden and Stels back out there. That one comes off to Schaefer. And Pirates will be content to run a little bit of clock or not. Take a three from the corner. George Davis, and George hasn't done anything to hurt that three-point shooting percentage. Again, coming into tonight, he was shooting 51.7 from three, and George is true on another triple. Back at it, Mathis with the answer. Something about that corner for George, though, Casey.
Yeah, he shoots that corner three really well.
There's Schaefer on the take, and right back to a 19-point lead.
And Jonah does a really good job changing speeds, making the defender get behind him, and as he starts, understanding when to move it with that shot, he can make it a very highly effective, arsenal of his game.
Davis clears that one. Coach Burkemper imploring him to keep pushing the ball. Stay in attack mode. Back over to Stels. Got a look at three. He'll pass. Finds Davis in the corner. Back up top to Tachenko, over to Buckberger. Tachenko on the drive. And a nice right hand finish at the rim. And the Pirates have put together a really, really dominant second half and have themselves a 21-point lead with under a minute 40 here in the second half. So this one is looking like a holiday victory for the Pirates. And Coach Burkemper is going to clear his bench and get the deep bench fellas in this one. That's Peyton Sutter, Ben Shireen, Grady Ellison, Sawyer Hake. And Eli Hurst.
He was kind of hidden over there behind the
He was inbounding
scores table, yeah.
So a really nice second half gives these guys an opportunity to finish this one out for Pewaukee. Augustine, don't let up with these guys. I mean, they are still pushing. Don't tell them this is a 21-point game with a minute 10 left in the half. So, the other thing I wanted to mention is looking ahead. These Pirates will be in action next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, over at the Kettle Cup at Kettle Moraine High School, which is a two-day kind of tournament, 4-team event, and our Pirates will play both days, and it really is the winners on Saturday play again on Sunday against the winners, and the losers play against the losers. So it's just taking a look at this one. The first game will be against Sussex-Hamilton on Saturday, and then it'll be TBD. The Sussex-Hamilton game is going to be on the 27th over at Kettle Moraine at the Culver's Winter Invite Kettle Cup at 3 p.m. So another chance to see these guys, and that's a short trip down the street. We won't have it on PTV, but no excuse not to get over there and support your Pirates. So 3 o'clock on Saturday, and then Sunday, I believe, is TBD on time and opponent based on what happens on Saturday. It's Ben Shireen. The senior is up and good. Put it on the board for Ben. And great to see him knock one down. Hard-working kid that has put in all the work, and good to see him knock that one down. Took it with confidence and drilled it.
I don't know. No.
All right, we're back at it. And free throws up and good for St. Augustine. Draws to within 20, 40, 46%.
Yeah.
What do we got going here?
I think there was a missed layup that had a foul, and they counted it as a basket and one bucket, but it looks like he did miss the layup and only took one free throw.
We were checking it out, but he might have got gypped out of a free throw. Ellison misses it. Peyton Sutter, nice save underneath. And we're going to try Shireen again. Give us another one, Ben, for three. Give Ben Shireen a 3. 6 quick ones for the senior. You got to love it.
Love to see it.
Love to see it. 79-57. This one might be being played under protest. So did they get a point they didn't deserve? Is that what we were talking over with?
I couldn't quite tell. It seems like they may have given him a layup on the and one that he may have missed, and then he took one free throw instead of what should have been a 2-shot foul. But I didn't quite catch it all. He's just kind of picking up the noise to the left.
Casey down here is the unofficial replay with the iPad down here. But all the same, there's Ben again, and hey, 2 more for Ben Shireen. So how about that? 8 points in a minute for the senior to finish it off, and it is a 81-57 victory. And a great way to roll into the holidays, Casey. Fun night all around, but a really, really impressive half. And if you're Coach Burkemper, you got to be happy with the one number, and that is 57 points on the board. The Pirates have not been able to put together a really strong defensive outing. In that second half, 57 points is against a team who puts the pressure on you. Really a great way to head into the holiday break and that doubleheader next weekend.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. I mean, last game against Marquette, they held them to 44 points. Great interior defense. This game kind of seemed like a replica of that. Late in the first half, it opened up a little bit where they had a nice run. That's St. Augustine Prep I'm mentioning. But they really buckled down in the second half. Defense, defense, defense. That's what Coach Burkemper pushes with every team he's ever coached. And don't let the scoreboard fool you in this one. 81-57 final. That game was much, much closer than it appears on the scoreboard. But Pewaukee had a great second half to open it up.
Yeah, it was a good team effort, as you mentioned. We'll try to get some splits on the scoring here. Tichenko with 29 to lead all scorers. George Davis with 19 points, right in a fast follow. And then Jonas Schaefer on the board with 9 for the Pirates. So a good victory, one that the Pirates have to feel like they maybe are on a little bit of a run after a slow start to the season. 2 wins, stringing a couple together with Marquette on Saturday, and now here again against this game Augustine opponent. Well, Casey, happy holidays to you and the Lauer family. Thanks for doing it again. We'll do it in a couple of we'll do it again towards the end of the season for sure. Appreciate you as always and loaning your mic out. And thank you to all of our guest stars tonight. We had Nick Janowski, Milan Momcilovic, Josh Tarian, Ashton Janowski, Emmett Lowe, Isaiah Robinson, Carson Osterman. So much fun to see all those fellas coming out there to celebrate our Pewaukee basketball tradition. From me and Casey, happy holidays to everybody out there watching on PTV. Thanks for tracking with us, and we'll see you again, I think, in the new year.
Yep.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.